let's get started. First off, Marcos, thank you for coming. Yeah, and helping me out with setting up the Gym Knock Pod and setting up this first episode. Yeah, if it wasn't for you, I'd be dead or in jail.
Wow. You're welcome. Although it seems like I could be admitting to something that could be brought up in court. What I'm aware of is that I had the awesome, exciting opportunity to think about the sound of your podcast, make your intro and your outro.
Yeah.
And then we hung out trying to figure out how to set up this stuff. So any other stuff that would have led you to be dead or in jail, I'm not gonna take the fall for that. I want you to know. But I'm glad you're alive and free in beautiful North Hall.
North Hall and library.
And library.
At Bronx Community
Bronx. BX.
Yeah, it's a really nice day. It's like 50 degrees or something.
And we're inside.
It's nice because there was like a snowstorm a few days ago. Yeah, so let's start with just introducing how we know each other.
Sure.
The first time I met you was when you were a guest at the Poets Cafe that we hold at the Writing Center. I forget exactly the pieces that you did. You did, something about, are we post-racial because our president is black? Or is post-racial just a
Strategy.
tack? Which was an issue because it was like, like you were, it's kind of a rhetorical question, it seemed like.
Might be.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how I got to know you and work at the Writing Center. Yeah, so why don't you say, what you do and what makes you, who is Marcos de Jesus?
Hey, so, all right, so Marcos de Jesus is a guy who's having a conversation today. My sense of mission is really well expressed in my artist name. So it's weird. It's Marcos en la Guagua. And please, Brother Jim Noguera, say Guagua.
Guagua.
It's fun to say Guagua, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah, okay. Oftentimes, many people find it's quite fun to say Guagua, and that's half of it. And then also, for many Latinos with African heritage, Guagua means whose cultures have African heritage, that is. So you find it in the Caribbean and you find it in the Canary Islands. Guagua means bus. And you ever notice how when you're riding a bus between each stop, in a sense, a new community is born. You ride a bus through the Bronx and you never know what combination of people and cultures might come together. And I think my songs are kind of like that.
Wow. So, yeah, there are a lot of, I notice, of course, that there are a lot of influences in your music. Talk a little bit about that. You're kind of like a mishmash of, from what I've been able to discern, like Latin music, hip hop, and there's like some spoken word elements in what you do. Yeah, describe your should I say your music? Describe your influences.
All right. So in a phrase, it's hungry, expansive, multi-genre music bridged by hip hop. It's music on, in one sense or another, on a mission of reconciliation, looking for connections. Those are the places where I really feel inspired, where I am able to help build a bridge or kind of mend a wound to some degree. Either make a new connection or repair a connection that has been lost. And that's true for me in terms of what the songs can do. The activity of the songs is very interesting and important to me. And then also, it's true in terms of what inspires me, what will compel me to say, I got to drop what I'm doing and write this, or I have to share this. But that might also be a good bridge over into the first piece that I wanted to share, which is the intro from my first album, Code Switching, which I happen to see a CD copy of right here.
Point that toward the camera.
Yes. Which you can find on CD Baby or on iTunes, and yeah, it's called Mixed It.
Okay, so we're gonna try to play that for everybody. Go ahead and find it.
And the audio that you'll find in the background, both sides, my spoken word piece is sounds of South Bronx as I'm walking around recording, taking in sounds around me. It's also music by one of my biggest artistic influences, Dave Shearer, Christian hip hop artist known as Agape, and a couple of snippets from one snippet from one of my pieces that I'll talk about later when I think of home, and a snippet of my abuelita singing a danza.
When I was a kid, sometimes the streets would melt, with pavement and tar flowing like lava down sun-drenched, dangerously hot inner-city summers of our discontent. Innocent, I ran and played on those molten rivers, my friends explaining as necessary, he ain't white, he's mixed it, for the kids who didn't know who I was. And I'd head back home with a bit of the street stuck to my shoes. Pebbles, tar, and chicle, and everything that would melt together as it lay under the sun. Then at night, I was lovingly locked in the house, for my parents' fear of that dark where poverty, misperception, and danger danced to hip-hop beats, punctuated by hard truth and juvenile obscenity. But the steam coming off the funky flow of crazy, sexy cool from my block, mixed with sweetly sacred incense, acridly organic ganja, and bitterly artificial crack pipe smoke. This potent alchemy wafted up from the streets, propelled by beats, blasted out of hoopty speakers that cost more than the raggedy old cars which transported them. The smoke and sound entered my crib through windows left open for relief from the heat. Once inside, it met Papi's full-throated lamento borincano, hymns of the mighty fortress that is our God, and Mommy's Motown records. And in that old house, this now complicated sound cloud circled and stirred up dust, and it swirled around my small body. And I inhaled. I deeply inhaled.